The Public Utility Commission of Texas held a meeting today where commissioners took a step toward redesigning the state's power grid. Our Ryan Chandler is joining us here in the studio to give us some insight, and he's been following this meeting all day. Ryan, I understand the meeting wrapped up fairly recently, and a decision was made. What did they say?
Well, that's right. They just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago, and they took one of the final concrete steps towards fulfilling some of the directives from the legislature. I'm sure we'll all remember all too well the reason that all this work started last February, or rather in February 21. That winter storm plunged millions of Texans into the dark, even killed hundreds of Texans. And after that, the legislature went to Texas power generators and said, do not let this happen again. So they required them to do a number of things, including what we saw today, which is redesign the power market in Texas to make sure that the profit incentives and the levers of the free market are there to make sure that power generators are encouraged to provide the power to the Texans who need it when they need it.
And I know that Governor Greg Abbott supported this particular plan. Remind us all, you just touched on it a little bit, but remind us how we got here again. This is all tied back to 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. We saw 2 years ago that we didn't have enough power supply because the debate is still out whether the levers of the power market were there in order to provide supply. Of course, the weather was also a huge issue that plunged so many of these power generators into the dark. So what we saw today is a very esoteric new model to fuel the market into getting that power where it needs to go. It's called the performance credit mechanism. And you almost have to be an energy expert in this to understand all of the specifics. It's very esoteric. But at the end of the day, what people want to know is, are they going to be able to turn their lights on, and how much is it going to cost them?
Yeah.
Governor Abbott argues that this mechanism will allow the retail electric providers, meaning the companies that you all see on your bills every month, to pay power generators credits to provide power when energy supplies are low. Ostensibly, that will create another incentive in order to provide power when people need it. Critics, however, argue that if your power company is paying more for that power, who's going to bear the brunt of that cost at the end of the day? It could be the consumers.
All right. Of course, this is going to be followed along in the months to come, but we appreciate your reporting today. Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate it, Will.